We just sit here. You all look just special.
Hey Andrew, make sure you speak loudly this way for me so that the camera can hear you.
Got it.
Thanks.
So you have to listen to me again. It's the second week in a row. But the good news is it's the last week of the semester. So soak it in, endure it, choke it down, then you'll have to leave next week. You might have noticed in the video it said Relationship Series Part 1. You might ask yourself, is there a Part 2? The answer is
yes.
Yes. Yeah, we have a lot of exciting speakers coming in to talk to you this semester. Next week we're going to be talking about courtship and marriage. And we actually have an engaged couple, a real life engaged couple. That's going to be here to talk. Now we're going to have a question and answer session with the bishop. So you can come and stump him, bring all your really hard questions, and try to stump the bishop. Then after that, we're going to have a priest here to talk about priesthood. Then we're going to have some religious sisters here that actually wear habits, like in the movies, to talk about consecrated life. So a lot of exciting stuff coming in. I don't think the lights are turning.
There's one blinking. There it goes.
Yeah.
Let there be light.
This week we're talking about friendship. You might be like, why do we talk about friendship? Isn't friendship really obvious? Right? We all have at least some friends. We've had friends our whole life. Is it really obvious what friendship is? Why would we spend a whole night talking about friendship? Is anybody thinking that? Yeah, Rob. Or I was like, it's going to be boring. He's not doing that. Thanks, Rob. But we are going to spend a whole night talking about friendship because friendship is really important. You know, I haven't realized this my whole life, but if I look at how I spend my time, what I think about throughout the day, where my desires go, where my imagination goes, a lot of my attention focuses on friendship, right? You know, I wake up and I say hello to the people I know. I go to class, I go to work, really, and I interact with friends. You know, when I'm hanging out at night, I'm with my friends. I'm on Facebook, I'm interacting with my friends. I call someone on the phone, I'm with my friends. Friendship really kind of fills our life, in large part. You know, we might have some time to ourselves, but I pose to you that the majority of our time is spent with friends. But I think there's a good way to approach friendship and a bad way to approach friendship. So we're going to talk a little bit about that today. The ways we can have relationships and friendships that build us up and help us to grow, make us happy. The ways that we can have friendships that tear us down and hurt us, make us less than what we want to be. I'm going to start, though, with a story. It's my story. And it's not going to be that intimate or that in-depth or intense. But I've noticed as I've gotten older, the ways that I've related to people, the ways that I've been friends, has grown and progressed. You know, I've always had a lot of friends. I've been really, really blessed that way. I've never had a hard time making friends. I was kind of the guy in high school that was a part of like every clique. I just kind of fit in, and it was fine. You know, I had my goth friends in junior high, because I was goth in junior high. I was an athlete. I was on the football and wrestling team. I was a captain. I was a Boy Scout. I had my scouting friends. I played a lot of video games. I played Magic cards. So I had like my friends who like to play video games and Magic cards. Then I had like the friends that I would play hacky sack with during lunch break. So whatever category they fit into. And then I've always been, at least in high school, I believed in God a little bit. So I was kind of friends with people in my class that, you know, were kind of more religious too. So I was blessed to have all these relationships, all different kinds, all different people. We did all sorts of different things. But one thing that was common amongst those friendships is it would always be about what I wanted to do, what I felt like doing. Right? During lunch, I felt like playing hacky sack, so I hung out with a certain sort of people. You know, I wanted to be an athlete, to play sports, and so I hung out with those people when I wanted to do that. When I wanted to hang out on the weekends, I wanted to play cards or play video games or have a certain amount of good time, so I'd hang out with those other people. You know, I wanted to be involved with Boy Scouts and go camping and have fun outdoors, so I hung out with those people. All my relationships centered on what I was getting out of it. You know, what we were going to do and how that was going to entertain me and fulfill my time. When I got to college, and after a year in college, I transferred into the seminary. And I had this really weird experience my first year in seminary. I had this friend named Matt. And what I noticed about Matt is I started to just want to be around him no matter what we did. It didn't matter if we were going to play sports. We worked out together, we'd study together, we'd hang out on the weekends, just have fun. It didn't matter what we did, but I just wanted to be around him. And this was actually kind of troubling to me. In high school, I was pretty emotionally not too good, but you know, I've always just wanted to be around my friends. But this is something I grew into. And at first, I wondered what it was all about, what it meant. Were these feelings sexual? You know, did I have was my sexual orientation? Was I bisexual? Because I was attracted to women, yet I wanted to spend time with him. Or was there something deeper going on in my heart, where it's just normal to want to be around your friends? But I noticed I wanted to spend time with him for me, because I felt a certain way about him. I was attracted to spend time with him. And so when I spent time with him, no matter what we did, I got a pleasure. You know, it was fulfilling for me. And sometimes I would spend so much time around him, he'd get annoyed at me. One day, I went up to his room and knocked on his door. He opened the door and just looked at me, and then closed the door. I was like, well, guess he doesn't want to hang out today. And actually, Matt's getting married in February. I'm going to the wedding, so it's pretty exciting. We're still close friends. And then this weird thing started to happen after that. I started to do these things called small groups, where I'd get together with some friends and we'd share and talk about our lives. And what happened, by the end of college, I had like a group of guys that knew everything about me. They knew every mistake that I had made. They knew what I was struggling with then. They could kind of read me in a deeper way. And we would kind of call each other on. Then I had the same thing when I was in grad school, and I'm blessed to have the same thing here, where I have probably 24 people in my life that know about everything about me. Everything. My mistakes, my joys, what I like, what I dislike. They know my personality. And there's a real richness to these friendships. There's there's pleasure, there's usefulness in it. I get something out of it. But then again, these friendships help me to grow, and help me to flourish, help me to be happy. I'm just content. I'm just content because I have those in my life. And so today, I'm going to talk a little bit about these different kinds of friendship and what we're looking for. Right? I'm going to start more fundamental, from the ground up. But what I'm going to start with is that everybody wants to be happy. I was a philosophy major in undergrad. And you're all going to go to sleep now because philosophy is boring. But his name was Aristotle, and he lived like hundreds of years before Jesus. And what he said in the beginning of one of his books is, all men desire happiness. And think about it, right? We don't do things because we want to be sad. You know, even when I make mistakes, I'm not like, I'm going to go over the speed limit because I just want to be sad and miserable. And I want to get a speeding ticket and spend my money on nothing and be pissed off the rest of the day. No, I speed because I want to get there faster. And me getting there faster makes me happier. It makes me more fulfilled, right? I get something out of it. It makes me happy. The same way if I eat too much, I'm not like, I really want to lay on my couch and just feel sick the rest of the day. That's just what, no, like, this tastes amazing, and so I'm going to keep eating it no matter how I feel. I think it's going to make me happy. In the same way, there's other good things that I do. Like, for example, if I actually work out for once, I'm not like, I'm really going to enjoy watching Tony Horton. Just make me feel miserable for like an hour to an hour and a half. Right? But what I think is, if I exercise and get in shape, I'll feel better. You know, I'll look better. I'll be happier. I do all these things, good and bad, because I desire happiness. Right? Even the most confused people, the movie or the video mentioned a fictitious group, Murderers Anonymous. I believe that even somebody who's a murderer, because of maybe a sociopathic condition or just whatever's going on in their head, they think that killing that other person is going to make them happy for whatever reason. Maybe they have a grudge against them. Maybe they want to keep a secret. They kill the person and keep the secret. Or maybe they just get some kind of weird pleasure out of it. Right? But I think even the murderer makes their choices because they want to be happy. And they're really twisted in their head. Right? But they still desire happiness. They're making these choices to be happy. So this is where Aristotle starts, this crazy philosopher, hundreds of years ago. All men desire happiness. But then what he says next is a little bit more controversial nowadays. He says true happiness is virtue. Virtue, right? Virtue is a habit, number one. It's a disposition toward the good, number two. And you want to do it. It's not just like self-control. You know, you want to do it. This virtue. And virtue is true happiness because maybe if we act in a way that's not virtuous, we might be happy for a little while and receive pleasure. But in the long run, it's going to tear us down. It's going to make us less happy. Right? So maybe me overeating, I'm going to get a lot of pleasure from that. But it's not very temperate, the virtue of temperance. And so then I end up miserable later on, laying on my couch, maybe vomiting, you know, putting on weight, maybe my clothes don't fit then, I have to buy bigger pants. You know, acting in an unvirtuous way ends up bringing more sadness into our lives. Right, so those are our first two premises. Again, here's that I really basic. Right? We all want to be happy, and true happiness is virtue. Right? Do we have any questions on all that? That is some philosophy. Never thought philosophy would be so fun. Okay, let's move on to the good stuff. The real good stuff. So what Aristotle says is virtue in our growth, in our movement, in our lives, always happens in the context of friendship, of relationships. In relationship, the definition for friendship is simply sharing life with another person, being in a relationship with another person with mutual affection. It's wanting to be with the other person. It's enjoying that time, but it's more than that. It's something deeper. There's a connection there, a connectedness, right? Like when you come to a room full of people that you barely know, there's something uncomfortable about it. Or like if you take a long car ride with someone you're not very familiar with, you're kind of like, when's this going to be over with? You're not, you know, kind of itches. The conversation's difficult. You don't know what to talk about. But if you're with a friend, it's just natural. It's pleasurable. There's not that same tension. There's a familiarity. There's a comfort. There's a trust. Right? And so when someone becomes our friend, there's kind of this intangible kind of connection between us that we only feel when we experience being with that other person. Right? This is friendship. It's connection. But Aristotle says there's three kinds of friendship. This is the last piece of philosophical mumbo jumbo I'm going to throw at you. There's three kinds of friendship. There's friendship that's in its base pleasurable. There's friendship that's at its base useful. And then there's friendship that's at its base honorable or virtuous. So the pleasurable friendship is when I'm around you, you make me feel good. Has anybody ever experienced this? When you're around somebody, it makes you feel good? Yeah. It's like every sitcom relationship. You make me feel so good to be around you. There's the friendships of usefulness. I had this friend when I was young, like really young. He had this game on his computer called Sim Farm. Has anybody ever played Sim Farm? Sim Farm was where it was at in like 94. And I loved playing Sim Farm. And I would go over to his house, and we'd log into his computer, and I would just sit there and play Sim Farm the whole time. Well, the one day without thinking,